Today we have Luke. Luke is the co-founder and CEO of Claytis. I'm personally very excited about this talk. As Josh mentioned as well, it's going to talk about 3D, character generation, 3D production ready assets essentially. So he's building something very exciting where you can convert a human real-world video into 3D animations. I'm sure Luke will have a lot to share about it, so I can keep it short. Luke has a very strong background in building ventures that are at the intersection of gaming and AI, and he brings a unique perspective on how emerging technologies can streamline workflows and unlock creativity for different studios. So, with that, Luke, over to you.
Okay, thanks for the intro, Usman. So I'd like to cover end-to-end visual generative generative AI, specifically for IP characters. And Claytis is a very small startup based in San Mateo. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have one small IPO in consumer mobile sector, and I did one small M&A in education technology back in when I was 25. And Peter is my chief scientist, and Kayla is my first hire, and Professor James O'Brien is our technical advisor, who is the full-time professor at UC Berkeley. And the biggest problem of generative AI is they are all based in probabilistic nature. So it is very similar to rolling a dice. If you are very lucky, then you will get perfect result for the first attempt. However, oftentimes you need to roll the dice many different times because it is just probabilistic. So that is the problem what Claytis is trying to solve. So as you can see here, I'd like to make some compare Claytis versus Luma versus Google Veo. I'm not sure network bandwidth is enough to see the difference, but let me just try to play. So Luma AI just lost character consistency. It started from bear, but all of a sudden it changed it to a humanoid. And VO3 just didn't follow any motion input at all. So this was possible because Claytis is following 3D pipeline instead of a 2D pipeline. For example, Luma AI and VO3, they stick to 2D pipeline. That's why it lost so much character consistency. And Claytis is by nature, it is procedural process. I will cover this in the next slide as well. And all the other companies pretty much rolling the dice, stochastic, it is going to be hit or miss. And Claytis is one of the companies that applies object-based pipeline compared to scene level. So for example, VO3, it is great. There's nothing wrong with VO3, but the thing is generated result is just one single entire scene is one single image file. It is very extremely difficult to control your object in the scene. So Claytis produces mesh generation, texture generation, and it controls post-transfer and automatic rigging and motion extraction and retargeting and rendering in the end. And it is based on our own foundation model. Our data set is about 800K 3D data set, 1 billion parameters. And this is what you can do on the website. And I'm going to just play this video. It is for free for now, unless you are going to use API integration. Pick a motion, or you can upload your motion video and upload your character concept. If you don't have, you can just use one of the template from my website and just one single button create. Then you will get 3D model, texture, retargeting, automated rigging, everything. And you can download it in FBX, GLB, or rendered MP4. But on the website, I need to clarify that you can only download MP4 from the website. But if you work with me over API integration, definitely you can download GLB and FBX. That's my business model. Everything is for free on the website. Using API is for charge. So I'd like to highlight the motion and character consistency. So as you can see here, we retargeted from the humanoid motion to really push the design large head character. It is not 100% perfect, but I would say it is good enough for building mobile games. So this is the one of these secret sauce that I learned. What we have to do is to nail the IP character motion. Then pretty much everything else either just follows or even doesn't matter. That's why Cladis is heavily focused on character animation pipeline compared to Mesh AI, Tripo, and CSM. And for example, CSM does not have post control, and Mesh AI just provides a mix-sum rigging, which is not fully automatic. And you can try Tripo CSM. By the way, Tripo has great 3D model quality. They are a great company. I fully respect them. However, their rigging and retargeting barely works. And diversity of motions are very limited. For example, Tripo CSM, they just give you library-based 11 motions, 5 motion, really basic. Mesh AI is better. They provide 630 motions. However, Cladis can extract whatever you upload, and we will do the heavy lifting. So essentially, it is unlimited motions. And Cladis is the only one company that provides rendering. And this is the rigging comparison. Hatsune Miku is obviously intentionally challenging input. So as you can see, only Cladis rigging and retargeting works much better than some comparable companies. And what you can do with Cladis is you can directly import your generated 3D characters into Unity. And yeah, this is the proof what you can do with Unity and Cladis. Just simple demo game, FPS. As you can see here, the guns are not from Cladis, but I could have done that. That soldier enemies and our hero player generated by Cladis. As you can see, grabbing gun, reloading looks pretty much appropriate. And this punch motion generated by Cladis, and this die motion generated by Cladis. And all this demo game was developed by 3 freshman interns over summer. And they have never built a game or learned Unity. That was my kind of social experiment, how we can build a game in this Vive, coding environment. And this is a simple pricing line. I'm just going to skip it. I'm not here to promote Cladis. And this is the actually future. And this is something in our future roadmap. So this background was generated by Veo 3. And if you remember the bear, it is created by Cladis. And you can just insert your 3D characters into 2D video scene, just like this, by using simple camera tracking. And this was all automatically done as well. So I believe this is going to be some future, making some 2.5D animation pipeline, and probably we can make some totally different game engine in the future, I believe. And yeah, that's it. And let me hear you out, what you think. And to clarify, yeah, Cladis is for free for now, but it is not going to be forever. So please try it out and let me know what you think. And if you'd like to implement it into your pipeline, let me know. I can open up an API for you guys.
How many vertices are these generated models?
4,000 up to 7,000. So it is optimized for mobile game development.
Very cool. Also, yeah, thank you for showing out just like kind of a little bit in a wow moment for a second. So that's really awesome. Are there any like other considerations for like how it works with light maps and just like other, light UVs, just everything else? How does that work?
Yeah, PBL is on the way. However, it is not really difficult, to be honest. So you can see PBL in a couple of months from Cladis. And UV maps, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It is not really human readable. So if you want to retouch by 3D artists, it is going to be really challenging.
Okay.
There are some frameworks to unwrap UV automatically to make it human readable, but it is not really robust as of 2025.
Awesome. Yeah, someone who does that all the time. Yeah, that was like one of the first things I thought. It was like, oh, how do I edit this? But yeah, obviously that's like pretty advanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a question, Luke. So, what's the average time to make a 3D model, then rig it, then animate it?
It's anywhere between 3 minutes to 6 minutes. But the thing is, I'm using very, very cheap GPU. So if I can upgrade to like H100, I believe we can finish down to like 30 seconds to 40 seconds.
The rig for your auto rigger, are we talking bipedal rigs only, or what types of rigs do you support?
Yeah, currently bipedal humanoid format only. Like animals, theoretically doable, even birds or insects, theoretically doable, but it is not really robust for game development yet. It is still in research level. But yeah, we are hoping to offer animal and insect options in the future as well.
And a quick follow-up on that, if you don't mind. If I grab Mixamo and I'd auto rig a character, I get the whole library of animations that come along with it.
Yeah.
Which are lend itself well to putting them in Unity, put them in Unreal. What animation library is your rig plugged into?
We are going to provide Quaternions library. I believe that's the exactly same thing that Mesh AI is providing, because somehow the number of motions, 600-ish, is pretty much similar. So yeah, you will get the basic, walking, punching, running, crouching. Yeah, that is for free. But if you're going to upload your own video, that is going to be additional charge. But yeah, basic motions will be for free.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
In your website, there are certain templates like you showed in the presentation of something like Bear. And I've tested your website earlier, a few weeks back. So there you have to like upload the character. So how like optimized is your system to generate the backside of the character, or the areas where the reference image isn't visible?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So Cladis is pretty robust. So you can throw whatever character concept, either single view like front view, or either you can just try back view. Then Cladis is going to try predict front view and side view anyway. And if you have like front, side, back, top, bottom, whatever, just throw it all together. And yeah, 3D generative AI is very, very well generalized. So yeah, whatever format is going to work, and sometimes very messy with a lot of artifacts on the background. Yeah, somehow magically, yeah, generative AI will segment all the others, getting rid of all the unrelevant artifacts. So yeah, you can just try whatever you have.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
One more like suggestion, if you'd like integrate to upload a 3D character, which the companies have already made, or maybe an indie developer, to upload a 3D model, and then your platform kind of rigs it in the real time, and then extract the motion from the reference video or your library, and then kind of retarget it to that frame. So
Yeah,
it's
you are actually the third like potential customers, who exactly mentioned that. So I'm aware of that needs, and definitely, yeah, we are already working on that. Yeah,
thanks so much.
yeah. Thank you for the great feedback. Yeah.
The whole system you got here seems pretty interesting. I work in AAA game development, so it's a little bit. It doesn't fit our needs yet, but I would definitely love to kind of get an idea of your roadmap of where you're looking to go in the future to, potentially look at like your AI auto rigging, your AI creation of characters. How can we expand upon poly counts upwards into like 400, 500,000? What does the future of some of your stuff look like? And what are your guys' plans around some of that?
Yeah.
Would love to see a roadmap.
Yeah, high poly is not a big problem actually. And making 300K, 400K, that's already very doable. But the problem is more in the texture quality. That's why targeting AAA or console game is not great fit for 3D generative AI startups such as Cladis. And another challenge that we have is face rigging. Definitely AAA games, they need a great face rigging and hair simulation as well. And hair simulation can be done, yeah, on my end. However, face rigging, it is not even in the research level yet. Yeah, that is one of the biggest challenges to work with AAA games. But anyway, in sum, the face rigging is the first thing we have to tackle.
I mean, it depends. I mean, I would, I guess, beg the question is like how much of that needs to be done right out of the gate. What I'm looking at is that we have a big problem in video games is that they cost more and more every year, up to 12% each annual year. And a lot of it comes down to iteration, and fidelity is a piece of that. For me, I see iteration is our path to fidelity. So anything that increases our iteration path, which means if there is a way to iterate on a character look and style, get it built and get it ready for game, we're already making progress there while artists are developing the actual final product, but utilizing AI to be an end of means to determine like, are we on the right track? How are we looking? Where are we at? We can gut check ourselves and know if we're making the right decisions faster, as opposed to finding the end-to-end solution of like, I want to say I'm spending 20, 30, maybe 90 million to 150 million on a project. I don't know if AI yet is at that point where I'm like, hey, I needed to create my full character for my game. That costs. Like there's so many more variables in the way of like, how do we make sure that this character be utilized for cutscenes, gameplay, to death, to like all these other pieces that we're doing in the games. So, but I'm interested in the product. I think it sounds really interesting that we could potentially use this for prototyping, for iteration, for validating ideas quicker, which is where I see the benefits of AI.
Yeah, for AAA game, AA game, I believe prototyping or demoing internally, that would be the best case scenario to implement generative AI for now. Yeah, I 100% agree.
I'm generally curious as people here build tools leveraging AI. And Luke, in particular, like, how are you thinking about pricing? And if you have actually, I just wanted to mention this book to you all. I don't know if you guys have come across this. It's called Scaling Innovation, and it's by someone I know, but more importantly, I've recalled what he's doing, or I've learned about what he's doing because of how much his work is being discussed, especially by AI companies. So highly recommend. And disclaimer, I still have to read it myself. I've just heard raving reviews about it. But I feel like AI has disrupted a bunch of things, and the SaaS thinking won't be optimal going forward. So Luke, you mentioned like the tool is free for now, and you'll be thinking about pricing. So just sharing this as a template. If you know of other great books or templates on this, would love to learn, given the disruption that's happening.
Yeah. So speaking of pricing, there are several different aspects you have to consider. And for Cladis is a little bit relatively easier, to be honest, because competition is already out there. Regardless of your internal cost, if there is strong competitors, then you gotta match the price anyway. And that's the one thing. However, for example, the motion extraction out of pre-recorded video, that's something only Cladis can provide to the market. So for that specific feature, you can follow value-based pricing. So you can, analyze how much money you are going to spend without Cladis motion extraction feature. Oftentimes, for example, like AAA games, they have $1 million, equivalent, device, hardware device, a lot of lenses. You need to hire, motion artists, etc. But by using Cladis motion extraction, what you need to have is one simple iPhone, and that's it. It is nearly for free because everybody has iPhone or Android at least. So I'm still figuring out, but if you are only the player who can provide specific feature, that's the where you can, ask fat margin because there is no competitor. However, that is going to be really short term, to be honest, because it is like, vacuum. If there is some margin floating around in the market, then all the competitors will come in eventually. That's why your fat margin will be shrinked. So I believe, yeah, competition matters and GPU cost matters. So some early adopters and early pioneers in generative AI, they try to come up with some pricing strategy like cost plus, like GPU is really expensive, and they added like 30 to 40% margin out of that because you need to, have some cushion for your labor and marketing and sales cost anyway. So yeah, you got to think about a lot of
I
different
can,
aspects. Yeah.
if it's interesting, I know the author, did a course with him a long time back. And he talks about this and many other techniques. So there is this concept of value creation, which we
Yeah.
all do as companies, and then the concept of value capture. And oftentimes your perceived value to the customer may actually be more. And cost plus is obviously an old way of doing things. But if there is enough interest in the community, I could ask him for a special talk for us because he is specializing in this area. Have a look at the book, skim what's there, and let me know. I just want to make sure if we're doing something as a community, you guys get to capture a lot of the value that you create, and of course keep the competition at bay. So some of it may be internal community competition, which is all fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are coming towards an end, and we typically do a picture for a post.
Yeah, let's do this.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay.
You wanna congratulate Luke as well?
Yeah, Luke, that was pretty neat. 3 years in a row with the credit thing from Amazon and NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And I guess, just sharing with everyone, for those who haven't seen, he's shared post or a blurb on how to do that. We should repost that, Usman.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
very cool. Very cool. Okay, thank you so much for this talk. And see you all next time. I think this is the next picture we'll go for, Jason.
There we go.
Clapping.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody. Thank you, Luke.
Adios.
Bye.